An undercover I-team investigation is exposing a danger to our troops and a waste of our taxpayer dollars.
Steve Daniels is here now. And Steve, how did you find out about this?
Well, it was a soldier at Fort Bragg who tipped us off, asking us to investigate military equipment for sale on the internet. If the military gear gets in the wrong hands, it could be used against our troops in war zones. And it may be theft from the government, theft of equipment paid for with your money. As you'll see, we found a lot of military gear for sale on eBay and Craigslist, so we launched a hidden camera investigation.
Sorry, man.
How you doing?
Traveling.
Man.
You got spring break this week?
Yes, sir.
The I-team is undercover.
I was looking to get 175, but 150.
In a Wake County parking lot.
Must be a dummy plate. Opened it up, saw this on the back. I was like, oh man, I scored it.
That's a high school student selling what he says is a piece of military equipment. It's a body armor plate used to protect soldiers in war zones.
It looks fairly new, because there's not a lot of scratches on this.
Yeah, the guy said he took real good care of it. He didn't get shot at, so.
Doesn't look like it's received any fire.
Yeah, there's one
little ding right there.
He says he's a teenager, so we're blurring his face. The I-team discovered he's selling the body armor on Craigslist for $175.
You can buy them online.
He told us he was surprised when he received it inside an Interceptor vest he bought on eBay. Now he's reselling it. While it's not illegal to sell, it does concern the government.
There is no legitimate civilian purpose for military-grade body armor. I'm sure the military would not want to have available to anyone on the street.
Greg Coots is an investigator with the Government Accountability Office. We spoke with him from the ABC News Bureau in Washington. His team also went undercover and bought a dozen sensitive military items on eBay and Craigslist. They were able to buy things like these F-14 fighter jet parts in demand by Iran. They also bought these nuclear, chemical, biological suits worn by our soldiers and body armor. This stuff was being sold by a Special Forces sergeant at Fort Bragg. They also bought these night vision goggles. Selling military equipment can also be criminal. In San Diego, a former Marine is facing federal charges. Prosecutors say Douglas Rubsum sold components for night vision goggles to people in at least 14 countries. Rubsum says he did not do anything illegal.
We control the night. We lose that. We lose a significant tactical or even strategic advantage on the battlefield.
The I-team scanned ads for more than a month on Craigslist and eBay. We found a lot of military items for sale. Things like tactical gear, boots, knives, gas masks. And we also met undercover with sellers who showed us their military-issued uniforms, weapon holsters, and Interceptor body armor. It's difficult for us to tell if the gear is stolen from the military. Some military gear can be demilitarized and legally sold. But when the GAO did its investigation, it had access to government serial numbers.
In most of the cases we investigated in 2008, it was, in fact, stolen items.
Stolen from taxpayers, a waste of taxpayer money.
Anytime military equipment is sold to the public and it's not being used by the soldiers or for the intended purposes, it's a waste of taxpayer money. With the nation's fiscal problems now, that's something we should all be concerned about.
Army uniforms for sale on the internet, like we found, pose a real concern for the Pentagon.
In 2007, there was an incident in Iraq where Iraqi insurgents had U.S. military uniforms, and they infiltrated a complex and killed 5 U.S. soldiers.
Coots and his team of government investigators found Army uniforms and infrared tabs used at night to identify American soldiers being sold in Fayetteville.
And you said this was used in Iraq in 2000? This is pretty impressive stuff.
The Wake County High School student offering to sell the I-team body armor says he bought it from a soldier.
Afghanistan first, then the dude told me he had another deployment in Iraq.
He says he also wants to go into the military, but he may not realize the things he's selling on Craigslist could one day put himself and other American troops in harm's way.
This is kind of like a passion for you.
That, and it's paying my gas bills, driving around.
After that undercover encounter, we called the teenager and gave him a chance to talk about what we found him doing, but he did not want to talk to us anymore.
And what did people at eBay and Craigslist have to say?
Well, we did reach out to them. They both have policies in place to prevent the sale of military-issued items that should not be sold to the public. The soldier who tipped us off says he knows from experience many items are not collected from soldiers when they return from a war zone, and he says the Army could save a lot of money if it kept better track of its gear. The Pentagon refused to comment for this story. If you have something you want the I-Team to investigate, please send us an email. Here's the address, investigate@abc11mail.com. You'll also find a link through our website at abc11.com. We get the best ideas from our viewers.